All right, welcome back. If you guys didn't see on the last video, we were hardscaping the rock wall, and let me just show you. So we got that all done for the most part, at least. We're still gonna add some sphagnum moss in between the rocks, and then we're gonna add plants and mosses, stuff to make it look all natural. But now we've got to do this section of the pond. So I've got a bunch of cork bark flats here, just like nice flat pieces of cork bark, and then a couple little pieces of spider wood. Set those over here, and then these cork panels. So let me set the camera down and I'll show you real quick. So basically, we're trying to make this section of the wall like a natural looking texture and a living plant wall. So I'm gonna have plants, mosses, all kinds of cool stuff growing directly on it. And it's gonna hide all the brick and make everything look a lot better and more natural. So we're thinking, let me see. So I'm gonna get some cork bark pieces. I'm just gonna have a few placed throughout here, you know. I'm probably gonna use some on this little lip around here, and then we'll have a couple of these little pieces of wood just kind of as a cool little perch for animals or just to hang plants off of, break up the texture so it's not all the same. And then the other thing we're doing is I got this stuff. So this is a background texture style that I've seen from a YouTube channel called Biotope Gallery. So makes all these super cool vivariums. I think he's in South Korea or somewhere. But my buddy Harrison is actually the one that put me onto this. He messaged me and was like, hey, you should try to do this in the greenhouse. So thank you, Harrison. But this is heat pressed cork. I think this stuff is used for carving like duck decoys and stuff. But basically what I'm gonna do is break it all up and then use the rough side out, and the flat side I will glue in. So I'll glue all my cork bark pieces all over the place, and then I will fill the gaps with a mixture of this and sphagnum moss and driftwood. And this stuff, it creates a super cool natural texture. And then it's cork, so it's spongy, it absorbs water, and plants root to it awesome. So it'll look good, and it'll give the plants an awesome medium to root to. So goal is to get this looking like a living plant wall. It's gonna take a while for plants to grow in, but we still want it to look good in the meantime. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Things are about to get really cool really fast. We're like a couple weeks away from adding animals. We already have a couple plants in here, but in the next month, I'm probably gonna be adding 30 or 40 more plants. Like, we're gonna be doing a lot quickly. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, like these videos, and then comment down below what you wanna see next, because we're to the fun creative section now. We can just mess around and do stuff how we want and make it as cool as possible, as fast as I have time for. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, but let's get started on this. We're gonna start with using some spray foam to glue all the cork bark pieces on. We're probably gonna have to use tape or something to like hold them up in the meantime, but let's get started on that, and then we will worry about everything else. Yeah. Okay, I've got all the cork and stuff placed where I want it, I think. So let me show you. This is what it's like. It looks like a mess right now, but I think these are all the pieces I'm gonna do. I just got them all taped on, and then I got these little pieces here held on with rocks. I originally wanted to do like some sort of stone tile or something here so kids could stand here and look into the pond, but I just can't find anything that looks natural, so I'm just gonna continue the background all the way around and go all the way over there. So that's pretty much it so far, and then I'm gonna fill in between with the cork stuff. So I broke off a chunk just to see what it'll look like. If I can get it to focus. So it's got the flat side that I'll glue on, and then this, so it'll go something like that, you know. So look like that, we'll fill all in between. So I have a bad tendency, I think a lot of people do when you're hardscaping, to want to like super overdo stuff, like the cork bark and the driftwood. Like my brain wants to put a ton of it on here, but I gotta leave plenty big gaps for like the cork bark to go. Then I gotta remember that's gonna be completely covered in plants. So overdoing it really is not gonna make it look better. I've learned one thing with building vivariums and stuff. If you overdo it and make it look good immediately, then it doesn't look as good when plants are grown in. If you kind of underdo it and leave it really simple, then it looks better once plants have grown in. So I'm trying to keep that in mind as I work on this. But now I gotta wait for all this to dry. So I'm trying to decide if I want to or not, but kind of want to work on the big dead tree thing right here while that dries. It's raining outside, so I'm not gonna take you out far, but I don't know if you guys remember, but I got this awesome log thing out here. So I want to bring that in, remove this little white house that holds all the thermostats and stuff, and use these two fence posts in the ground to mount that. So basically I want to mount it, gosh guys, I'm struggling with focus today. Basically I want to mount it up right here, but like leaning over, kind of looking like an old dead tree. And then the thermostats and everything, I can just mount to the front of it. So that may be a project for another day, but I'm trying to decide if I want to work on it right now. I'm sitting here waiting for things to dry anyways, but I feel like that's going to be one of those things where I start and then it ends up being more of a project than I was thinking. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, I did end up getting the tree mounted, and it looks sick. Look at this. This turned out so good, guys. I'm so excited about this. I've been waiting for such a long time to get this thing mounted in here, and I went through so much trouble to get this piece, but look at that. It's all hollow in there. So this is definitely one of the main pieces for the greenhouse, and we're gonna have lots of plants. Mostly cool anthuriums and epiphytic philodendrons growing all over it and growing out of it, out of all these little holes. So awesome. But now we can start taking the tape off all of this and working on the rest of the background. But first, I got a surprise. So my buddy just texted me. He's gonna bring over something awesome here for the greenhouse. And you're just gonna have to see when you see. So coming soon. We're gonna start taking off the tape, working on that, and then whenever he gets here, he gets here. But I'll give you one hint: they're alive, and there's more than one of them. So let's get started taking this off and wait for the surprise. All right, we got all the tape taken off, and we cleaned up the foam. So one thing I didn't mention before: if you're gonna be siliconing and stuff onto this foam, you can't do it where it's all smooth. You have to carve it up so it's all textured. That way it sticks good. So we carved up all the extra foam, or we ripped off all the extra foam and carved up what was left. And then I decided I wanted to add some more texture to this, so it's not just totally flat. So I foamed some more spots here, a little bit here, and then a little bit around the lip where the bricks are to make a smoother transition. So it's not just like a step up. So we're gonna wait for that to dry. But in the meantime, we can start breaking up all of our cork board in the areas where it is dry. We'll probably start up here somewhere. We can start gluing that on and see what it looks like. So I can't get over this tree, guys. This thing is so sick. Anyways, back to work. All right, everybody, the surprise is here that I was telling you about. So we got my homie Jaden here, and he brought me an awesome surprise. So look down here in this tote. Probably barely see because of the glare. But we got a couple more peacock bass in here. They're the same type I have now, Fogos. It's hard to see, but this guy is massive. We'll show you better when we get them out of the pond, or out of the tote and into the pond. But yeah, we're getting them acclimating right now, and then we're gonna get them in the pond, and then we'll keep doing the background and all that.
Yeah, I think you should pick them up.
All right, we're getting ready to put them in the pond, so trying to decide if I should try to grab the male out and show you guys, but easier said than done, you know. Okay, we're off to a rough start. All right, guys, look at that. You cannot tell me that that is not an amazing fish. Peacock bass are the coolest fish. You see the arowana come over to check him out, and I was like, oh shit, he's bigger than me. He's scary. All right, mission success. All right, so as much as I want to sit here and look at them all day, we got to still get some stuff done. So let's carve up this foam, and then we'll finish breaking up our cork chunks and glue them on. So we're making some progress. I got a good amount of chunks broken up over here. And this is what we've got so far. Oh, look, there's the big guy. Anyways, there's what we got so far. So it's looking pretty good. I like it. There's some of these like big gaps like this and this little crack here that later on I'm going to use some like black silicone and squeeze in there, and then I can put little chunks in, and then I can fill it all, blend it all, make it look better. But for now, we're just going to go through and get all the big chunks glued on. Sorry guys, I'm tired. I also sliced my finger, so I only had electrical tape and it was bleeding pretty bad, so that's awesome. But I realized the problem, look at him, with me working on the pond wall right here is I just get distracted by the fish constantly, especially when I'm filming. But yeah, so far so good. Kind of get an idea what it's going to look like. So we've got that done. Now we just need to do all the rest of it and then do the final details. So I guess let's get to it, you know, no better time than now. Got Tiffany over here helping me today. She is basically the puzzle queen. So she's doing a much better job at this than me and doing it much faster. So we're making progress on the wall. While she's doing that, I have been working on this over here. We got our moss, just a big old bag of sphagnum moss, and I have been mixing it in and just stuffing it in all the crevices of these rocks over here. So this will eventually turn green and start growing again, most likely. If not, it'll plants will like root to it really well, and other mosses and liverworts and stuff will grow on it. So it'll eventually look pretty natural and good. But let me walk over here. Gives you a better idea how everything's looking so far, but we still got work to do, so back to it. It is done. So that is how the pond wall turned out, all done. It took a lot of time to get all the little pieces on, so I think I'm going to find a different method for the rest of the greenhouse. But if we can get the whole greenhouse looking anywhere near this natural, we are going to be sitting really well. We're sitting really well off. But yeah, look at this. We scribed the deck board to go around the base. I think that looks super cool, a nice little touch. And then finishing the moss here on the rock wall made a huge difference, and adding all the little roots or sticks. So I'm super, super happy with how this all turned out. But pond wall is finally done. Look at that. Now the inside of the pond looks really ugly, so I got to do something with that soon. But at least the wall, that has been driving me crazy how ugly that is. It looks awesome now. And then we got some more random little rocks placed out through here, some little rock piles. So the greenhouse is coming together. But we're going to do a lot more soon, but that's going to be another video. So you guys know the deal. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video so you can see more. We got animals coming in here soon, and a lot more plants, a lot more hardscaping, a lot more cool stuff. So subscribe to the channel. Don't miss the videos.